There is a certain kind of child no one talks about. They're not the golden child, not the rebel, not the favorite, not the problem. They are the one who quietly disappears in the background, the invisible child. And while everyone assumes they turned out fine, psychologists tell a very different story. This is the psychology of being overlooked. Because when a child learns that their emotions, achievements, and needs go unnoticed, it doesn't just shape their childhood, it reshapes their entire identity. Children don't need much to thrive. A little attention, a little validation, a little celebration. But the overlooked child grows up with none of those luxuries. They learn early that attention is a finite resource, and it belongs to someone else. Maybe it's the gifted sibling who dominates the spotlight. Maybe it's the troubled one who consumes the family's emotional bandwidth. Or maybe it's the parent whose own wounds eclipse the needs of everyone around them. So the invisible child adjusts. They shrink, they self-manage, they make sure they're not a burden. It looks mature on the outside, but on the inside, a much deeper wound forms. If no one notices me, maybe there's nothing worth noticing. Psychologists call this identity minimization, and it often starts before the child even knows what identity means. One of the most common traits in invisible children is quiet achievement. Good grades, good behavior, quiet compliance. Not because they're naturally obedient, but because causing trouble costs attention, they're convinced they don't deserve. So when they achieve something, they don't run to show it off. They wait, silently, hoping someone will notice without them asking for it. But here's the tragedy. Nobody does. Over time, this creates a dangerous belief. If I have to ask for recognition, it doesn't count. As adults, these people often excel but never feel successful. They work harder than everyone, but struggle to celebrate anything they do. It's not lack of pride, it's lack of permission. When invisible children grow up, they don't become dramatic adults. They become high-functioning, low-complaining, emotionally self-sufficient, excessively independent, quietly lonely. They apologize for asking for help. They downplay their achievements. They hate being the center of attention. And they freeze when someone finally asks, "What do you want?" Not because they don't know, but because no one ever asked before. Many also develop hyper-independence, a trauma adaptation where needing nothing becomes a survival strategy. To outsiders, it looks strong. But in psychology, it's classified as protective detachment, not strength, not resilience, a defense. Invisible children never learned how to receive. So as adults, they choose partners who need fixing, overfunction in relationships, suppress their preferences, avoid conflict to stay invisible, feel guilty taking up space. Love becomes a test they're afraid to fail. Needs become burdens they refuse to voice. Their silent motto becomes, "If I don't need anything, I can't be disappointed." But nothing starves intimacy faster than self-erasure. Relationships require mutual visibility, and visibility is something they never learn to receive. Ask them directly and they'll laugh it off. But deep underneath, one question lives like a quiet ghost. Is attention something I have to earn? Not praise, not applause, just visibility. The overlooked child never wanted to be the favorite. They just wanted to be real in someone's eyes. That wish doesn't disappear with age. It just hides somewhere deeper, and it waits for permission to surface. The healing begins the moment a person understands this truth. Visibility is not a performance, it is a right. You don't earn it with achievements, you don't buy it with perfection, You don't bargain for it with silence. You claim it by existing. For some, that starts with something as simple as saying, "This affected me. I need help. I'm not always okay." Those words terrify the invisible child because they break the rule they lived under for decades. Don't take up space. The rule dissolving. If this is you, if any part of this feels like looking in a mirror, you need to hear something no one said to you soon enough. You were never invisible. You are just unacknowledged, and those are not the same thing. Being unseen is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of someone else's limitations. You existed, you mattered, you still do. And the moment you decide to stop disappearing, the world doesn't stay the same. And if you're wondering why invisible children often grow into overthinkers, people pleasers, or hyper-independent adults, that's not a coincidence. It's the next story. If any part of this felt like looking in a mirror, don't ignore that. Invisible children often grow into adults who overthink, overgive, and overfunction. And that isn't random, it's psychology. In the next episode, we're going to break down exactly how that transformation happens and why it's not your fault. Before you go, tell me in the comments, what role did you play in your family? I read every answer.